Hey guys, I'm Robin and I just uploaded my game to Steam. Today I'm going to show you exactly what I did very quickly and very easily. Also, TLDR, it's very easy, but for those of us who don't like to watch videos like this, who are sick of tutorials, I'll also add below a link to a document that I wrote up that you can just follow that and you'll get a build onto Steam in no time. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so here we go. Say goodbye to my face and hello to my desktop. So let's get right into it. So this here is the dashboard for your Steam game. If you don't have this, then there's a few steps you need to do before you can upload your game to Steam. I'm going to be reading off my document here, which is going to be attached below. But pretty much there's a couple steps. First, you need a Steamworks account, which is how you get this to your dashboard. You pay $100 and then you need to create your store page. Now, I'm not 100% sure if you need your store page in order to get a build up, but to do some of the things we're going to do, it's going to be very helpful to have the store page up. That way you can download your game directly from Steam. You can have a friend download it, testers download it, all those kinds of things. Okay, so the first thing, once you get here to your dashboard, is you want to go down here to the bottom and you want to download the Steamworks SDK. So this is this right here. And in my document, there's a link directly to it. But when you click it, oh look, it downloads it directly. There's also a link that you can go to this page and there's different versions, but I would just download the latest. So you need to have this SDK downloaded and store it wherever you want. We're gonna pause on the SDK for now, but now that we have it, we can move on. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna click on our game. So my game here is Die Robot. We're gonna click on it. It's gonna bring us here to the app admin page for our game. You can see here that this is the store presence. This gets done after you complete a bunch of things on the checklist here. It does take time. So don't think that you're going to do this quickly and then do the rest of this video. So I would take your time, get your store page up. It doesn't mean you're releasing your game, but you should have that up. So on this page, we're going to scroll down and we're going to go here to this Edit Steamworks setting page. Okay, on here we have a bunch of stuff about our game, but the most important things that we want to look at here is Steam Pipe. And you can see here I have builds and depots. And then back here we have publish. There's also a bunch of other stuff here, but for the scope of this video, this is all that we need. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is just kind of how this works. There's two parts to this. There's builds and depots. Builds is pretty obvious. It's just the builds of your game or application, right? Steam also has applications, so people trying to upload an app of some sort can also do that this way, but I'm going to do it from the kind of context of we're uploading a game. So you click on builds, and down here you'll see that I have a bunch of different builds. These are all different builds that I've pushed to Steam through using their SDK. So there's a bunch of builds, and then up here, these are called branches. And branches are very, very cool. It's really cool that Steam does this, but pretty much you have this default branch by default. And the default branch is pretty much exactly what we're using every day to download our games. We're going on Steam, we click download, we click play, and we're playing on the default branch for that game. But there's also other branches, which I'm going to show you how to switch between branches later. There's also other branches that developers can use for other things. The example would be like, let's say I want to send a specific build of the game to a publisher, or a specific build of the game to a tester, and I want to send it to them through Steam. So I can create a branch that gets a specific type of build, and then when I tell the publisher or the tester that they have I tell them, hey, you guys have a specific branch, and there'll be a key for that branch, and they get the key and they're able to access that specific build. This is also really good for the game dev side, because let's say I have this new build, it's a update or it's a big change or something. I can upload it to this branch My branch is called internal testing. I can upload it to this branch, and then I can test it through Steam before it goes out to the actual players, right? Because we want to test everything. So we have, by default, only one branch is here, or maybe two, I forget, but there's just the default branch, and then we have the internal test branch. So for you guys, what you want to do first is create some sort of second branch. Now, if I remember correctly, you might have to push a build to the default branch first, which is okay. I'll show you guys how to do that. But if you can if you can create a new app branch, create a new app branch now. But if it's your first time submitting, you might have to first build to default, which is the same process. And after that, you should be able to create a new app branch. Okay. So these are branches. They're just different ways that we can ship the game to different kinds of people. But just remember, default is what like the player will get when you release the game. Okay, so those are branches. Down here, we have a bunch of builds. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to get up to here. And then the next thing that we want to look at is depots. Depots are a little bit confusing, at least for me, but just think of as one depot as being like, this is the best way that I can think of it, is one depot is the build of my game for Windows, and then another depot is the build of my game for Mac. ChatGPT says that like depots are also like if you wanted to add a soundtrack, you would have a soundtrack depot, or if you wanted to have a DLC, you would have a DLC depot. But from the context of one indie game developer just trying to push their game to Steam, you'll have one depot. Mine's called Die Robot Content. You can call yours whatever you want, but you need to set up this depot. So to set up a new depot, you would click this button here. It'd say add a new depot. You could call it like random depot, like that, and it gets me an ID. And then here you can set up a few things, just a language, for DLC. This is just the base app, operating system, architecture, platform, and you'll just fill all this up. I'm going to remove it because I was even having issues setting this one up. But once you're done with it, you'll have a depot that looks just like this. Okay, and it'll say, and you'll have this depot ID here. This depot ID is really important. So we need to actually copy and paste this ID somewhere safe because we're going to use it later. So yeah, depots, right? Don't think too much into it. Just create one depot for your game. If you're going to have multiple things on your Steam, multiple different packages, DLCs and stuff, that's a little bit out of the scope of this video. Okay, so depots, you have your ID. And then up here, you're going to have your app ID. You want to also save this app ID. Okay, we're going to need this app ID, this depot. And if you created a separate branch, save your branch name, but we can always come back to it. Okay, and that's it. That's all we need to do. Okay. Oh, one last thing before we leave this page is we want to publish. Every change that we make on here is just a temporary change. You might have like a big red bar up here that says, some changes aren't published. You need to publish it. So whenever you make a change on your, here in your kind of work area, you're going to go here to the end. You're going to go to publish. When you're not pushing images, it's just pretty clear here. If you're no images, you're just pushing light. You click publish light. You can go prepare for publish, publish to Steam. You put in the not so secret password and make any changes here. Put any notes here. And we'll just click publish. Okay, so if I added a depot, if I added a branch, when you add builds, you have to do the publish or nothing will actually change, right? The publish is like an intermediary between what we're working on in Steamworks and what the actual world here will see. Okay, so it's published. So now we're going to take a pause from Steamworks and we're going to move into the SDK. So you downloaded your SDK. Mine is right here on my desktop. Yours can be anywhere. It doesn't matter. But just as you're doing the build, just leave it where it is, and I'll explain why here in a minute. So we're going to click into the SDK. Okay, there's a folder called SDK inside of it. Your SDK might be zipped. Just extract it wherever you want. Clicking into SDK, there's going to be a folder called Tools here. Click on Tools. There's going to be another folder called Steam Pipe GUI, Steam Pipe GUI. Okay, we're going to click that. And in here, there's a README with not so much information, but the Steam Pipe GUI application. We're going to click that. Okay, if this is too small, don't worry about this. You'll just be able to follow along. I'm going to go through every single box and every single check and stuff like that. So at the top here, we have the app ID. This app ID, this is pretty much what's going to send your build to Steam. This GUI here is going to send your build to Steam to a specific depot on a specific branch. Okay, it seems a little bit more complex than it is, and it seems a little bit dated, which it also is, but it's quite simple once you understand exactly what's going on. So if I just open back up, the browser and I open the Steam GUI here. So this app ID, the first checkbox, the first text box all the way here at the top is going to be your actual app's ID. So we're just going to copy that. And we're going to put it right here. Mine's already populated. The information actually saves, which is great. So that's where your app ID goes. Build description, right? Like what I was doing is when I have a build, right? Each build is kind of dated. And so you can just quickly, copy the name of the, of the build like this. And you can just put that inside of the build description. Okay. And I'm just going to call this YT video just so we can actually see it up there. Okay. Now we have the app ID done and the build description done. Now we need to put in the depot ID. The depot ID again is this ID down here, right? And to get back to it, you can just go to depot. You can go to Steam Pipe depots, and whichever depot that you want your game to be in, right? Let's just imagine that there's only one, okay? Because you only really need one to release one game. So on the depot, you'll see these first letters here, this first number here, this ID. That is what the number that's going to go into our GUI over here, right? So this number here goes right down here into depot ID. And you'll also notice that the depot ID is very similar to your app ID. If it's totally different, you want to take a nice look and make sure that everything is lining up, right? Mine is only off by 1 digit. This 0 in my app ID is just a 1. So make sure that they're close. So the build path is the build path to your game. So here, and I don't know how every engine builds their games and how every developer is building their game. But the key part here is that the folder that the actual executable application is in, that's the folder that you're going to put up here. So when I open this, there's another folder in the root folder called Windows. And in this Windows folder, you'll see here I have the application. So I don't want to put this root folder. The actual build path is to the Windows folder, because just inside the Windows folder is the actual application. And you need to have that. It'll let you upload it. But when you try to actually run the game on Steam, it will error out. So you have to make sure that you're sending the folder that the actual application, the executable of your game is actually in. I'm not sure exactly how Unity or Godot or any private engines are kind of doing things, but that's the folder of the actual executable that your game is going to run in. So what I did was I just took this URL here, this path, and I just put it right in here. You can also browse for it using their little browser here. And you can go and you can see here like this Windows folder. You can just click it and you can press OK. Okie doke. And also, if you don't see this initial depot ID build path, you just click this add depot down here and you'll have a new depot right up here, a new depot ID and build path option. Okay, next thing. Next thing is we want to send this to a branch, right? Now, if you're doing your first one and it doesn't let you do a branch, just leave this blank. Okay, leave that blank. But if you were able to get a branch, put the name of your branch here, right? So my branch is called, let's go look at it one more time. Go to builds. Okay. And I have a couple of branches here, right? I have internal test and I have demo. Okay. And the default branch and the local. Okay. But let's use this demo one because there's no build actually added to this one. So we're gonna take demo, and that's what we're gonna fill in here to this GUI. Okay, so we go back, and I'm just gonna type in demo. Okay, we type in demo. Then we're gonna move all the way down here to the bottom where it says Steam configuration. So for Steam configuration, there's 3 parts. First, your Steam login and Steam password. Simple enough. And then it says the Steamworks SDK content builder path. So if you go back to the SDK, click the SDK and you go to tools, and then you go to content builder. Okay. So we need the path to this folder. So we're going to click this folder, and I'm just going to copy and paste this path, and it's just going to go right here. Now this can be anywhere, right? You can have this in your documents folder. You can have it in a game dev folder, wherever it is, and you can move it later. You'll just have to update this path. Okay. So you have your Steam login, you have your Steam password, and you have the content builder path. So all of these things are set. App ID, build description, depot ID, and build path. All these things are in, and we have the branch, right? And if you don't have the branch, you leave it blank. So the next thing you want to do here is you want to click this button, and it says generate VDFs. So clicking VDFs, this is actually stored in your scripts inside of that content build folder that we linked down here. And this is basically the document that's created this is the document that Steam needs pretty much to get your game up and running on their, on their servers or whatever. Okay. This document can be expanded to add more details on how to do builds and stuff like that. But again, that's out of the scope of this project that's out of the scope of this video, and it's pretty advanced stuff. So I would just leave it if you're trying to get your game just like onto Steam as you expect. If you have advanced kind of questions, like with advanced build options and advanced uploading to Steam, then you're probably not watching this video. Okay, so for the rest of us, just leave these, but just know that these exist. Okay, these VDF folders, and there's 2 of them. There's one for app, and then there's one here for depot. And you'll see here that it also kind of populates some of the info that we put in the actual GUI into these folders, into these files. Okay, but don't worry about that. Honestly, you can click VDFs and just forget about it because they're not really necessary just to get your game onto Steam. They're not necessary to modify just to get your game onto Steam. Okay, so we can generate VDFs, and then we're going to press this upload button. So you'll have this terminal pop up, and it's going to ask, it may ask you like if you have 2FA, right? So it's asking me, please confirm the login on your Steam mobile app on your phone. Just opening my phone real quick. Opening the Steam app, and I have the pop up, and I just click approve. Okay, I click approve. It's uploading a bunch of content. Okay, it's pretty much uploading a build to a specific branch, right? My demo branch on Steam, and then the terminal will close, and you'll kind of get this output log down here, and then at the bottom it'll say success. And if it doesn't succeed, go through the steps again, check everything again, look at the document that's attached in the description of this YouTube video, and follow along there. I'm a little bit more, I show you pictures and stuff like that, so you can follow that. But if it does succeed, great. We're pretty much done here with the Steam Pipe build uploader, right? So we can even close this, and we're gonna go back to Steamworks. Okay, coming back, and now we're back here into Steamworks. Okay, so we don't see any change here. What I'm going to do here is just refresh the page. Okay, so now we see it. Now I do have a build ID, right, on my demo branch. Originally it was a 0 like this, but now I do have a build ID. And then you can also see here, like demo the time and date that the build was added to this. Oh, not demo. Demo. The time and date that this build was added to this branch. And what does it say? It says 807 and it's 808, right? So this is the new one. And you can see here the description shows up right here. So YouTube video. So you can add a description. So now we have it here in this branch, right? And we're thinking to ourselves, great, so it's on Steam, right? Well, not exactly, not yet. So right now you have it saved. You're pretty much now telling Steam, hey, just so you know, I want this build on this demo. And Steam is going, okay, I'm just waiting for you now to let me know when to commit to that. Okay, so with this build now on demo, let's say this demo is going to be a demo that I want to send to a publisher or a demo that I want to send to a tester, right? I don't want to push it to the default branch. Maybe on the default branch, it's a little bit more developed, right? And I'm not, testing anything crazy or cool, but I want to show that to the publishers who are a little bit more open to, maybe a bug or a crash or something like that. So I want to send them that in this demo here. So I want to keep it here in this demo, and I will then give a key later to whoever is going to be opening this branch on Steam, and they'll be able to use it. Okay, so I'm going to switch something up. On this branch here, I want to update this branch, and I want to add a password. So let's just make the password demo Robin branch. Demo Robin PW. Okay, and I'm just going to update it. Oh, it needs to be 12 characters. So demo Robin branch, it is. Okay. You guys are all wondering, oh, can I put the branch, blah, blah, blah. You can quickly disable this or change the password later. Okay, so demo, it has the build ID and it has a password. This password is important because later you will need the password to even access the branch through Steam, which I will show you as well. Okay, so now the last thing, like I said before, the last thing we need to do is we need to publish this change to this demo branch. So I go to publish, and I'm gonna publish light. I'm not adding any images or anything. Also, by the way, you can see some different stuff here. You can view diffs, right? Or see, it says no uncommitted app data for app. This is interesting because it doesn't actually diff, from before and after, but you can see like pending changes in history. You can see here, let's see, depots. Yeah, it's honestly not great. Let's see what else. Yeah, not so hot, but anyways, there are ways to see a little bit more information. So I'm going to go prepare for publishing. And then it'll say, you have unpublished changes. Make sure to change them. I'm going to say publish to Steam. And we enter the password. That's not really a password. I'm going to type Steamworks in all caps. And then I'm just going to say uploaded a build to the demo branch. All right, and I'm just going to say really publish. Okay, great. It says now your changes are live. And so now you're probably thinking, great, so I should be able to download or update the game, right? And we're just talking from the developer side, right? Not the user side, not the player side, right? So if you're going to Steam now and you see your game here, right? And because if you own the game and your Steam account and you have a Steam and your page is up, you will have, your game will show up here. So we're going to go here to properties. This is how you find your branches for different games. Go to properties and you'll see here we have this betas tab. And to access a private beta here, we need to put the password. So let's go back. Okay, so for my demo branch, my password is demo Robin branch. Okay, let's open Steam back up. Okay, So you'll see now that I have none, which is my default branch, internal test, which is the branch that I already had up. And now this is the demo branch that's made for this video, right? And it's not up here right now. But if I put here the password, demo Robin branch, and I go check code, beta access invalid. Let's see here. Oh, and I'll tell you why. This, I think at least, this is an issue, is that the Steam app, right, is not updating when you publish. So if you just try to, like here, for example, if you just close this Steam app and then I just reopen Steam, I'm still going to have like the same issue. What you really need to do, I just want to test it 100%. Beta access code invalid. So what you really need to do is you need to completely shut down Steam, and I do it with Task Manager. This closes all the background processes. It's this 32-bit one. And you'll see everything will shut down. Okay. This is kind of a pain. But we open it back up, Steam will pop up. Yeah, I'm hiding it from you guys. It's okay, it's guarded anyways. This 2FA thing is gonna, never mind. Okay, anyways, 2FA, sign back into Steam after you close everything up. And you're doing like a hard reset, right? Closing all the background processes, use Task Manager, just end the task and then restart Steam. Okay, great. We're gonna go here to library. DieRobot properties. I'm hoping this works. None. Fucking what's the password? It was demo Robin branch. Let's see now. See, success, beta unlocked. Opt into demo, needed demo, right? So I'm gonna click this now, and now I have the demo, right? Needed demo, and then you can go and check this. You can go down and you can see that your branch aligns, right? Demo, description, needed demo, right? And so now your branch is here. And when you're looking at your library up here at your game's name, and you click it, selected version demo, and you can even click this area and I can change it to none, which is the default. And you'll see it had a little update there and it automatically updated. Or you can do internal test, which is another branch that I have, right? And all of these are password protected. So like, you know, though, even to see it, you would need the password before, right? Because you don't even see it in this dropdown. It's not like an option that then you use a password. The password just gives you the option of clicking it, right? So anyways, let's see demo. This is our new build that we just uploaded. Okay, so demo, it just updated. I'm closing. You know, you can see here in brackets and then selected version demo. Let's press play. And there it is.
Welcome to the DieRobot Publisher demo.
There's the game, right?
Your
Just like that.
is simple. Protect the data.
And that is my game, by the way. Okay, and that's it. Now your game is on Steam. Now I just want to go over a couple small details. But before we do that, I'm back. Now this wouldn't be a good video and I wouldn't be a good indie developer if I didn't give you 10 seconds about my game. My game is DieRobot. It's a third-person tower defense game set in the not too far future. You play as the hero Kip. You wake up in an abandoned lab and you have to defend the data seed against endless waves of robots. The game is still in early development and it comes out a year from now, around the summer of 2026. If you want to help me with the game, you can wishlist the game on Steam, or you can join my Discord in the description below and help me with playtests, feedbacks, stuff like that. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. But if you do, the link to the Discord is down below, as well as the link to the Steam page. So thank you again, and let's just get right back into the video. Sorry about that. Had to shill to feed my family. Okay, here we go. Okay, so that's that. Now the last thing that I wanted to go over, and then I swear we're done with this video, is when you're here at builds, let's say I did this internal test, right? And I didn't have to do any changes, right? The QA QC team's like, dude, don't change a thing. It's amazing. Push it straight to demo. Or let's say you're ready to push your final build, but you want to test it in Steam on a separate branch. You test it on the branch. You say, okay, everything is good. You can then take this internal test branch. Okay, you see it says description internal test, and you can just set it to the default branch like this. Preview change, and say this is the big one. Okay, and it's going to be set to default, and it says it will happen instantly. Set build live for default. Boom. So now we go back down here and we look at the default, and you see now both my default and my internal test branches are both set to this internal test description build. And this is that description from the Steam GUI. Okay. So we just go back to publish, prepare for publishing, publish light, publish to Steam, Steamworks. This is the big one. Really publish. Really publish. Come on. And that's it, right? And so then you can just go to Steam. And then here you see I don't have a specified beta branch or anything like that. And so when it'll update. And then when you press play, your build will be right here.
Welcome to the Die Robot Publisher demo.
So I thought that video was going to be a 10-minute video. It turned out to be like how long is this damn video? 40 minutes. No, I'm going to cut it, but it turned out to be much longer. So if you really want the short version, and luckily you don't have to watch it again. I wrote all of this down in a document, and you can just go through the document, and it's kind of in the steps that you need to do it. Look at the document, and if you have questions, or if something's not working, or if you want to ask me something, join the Discord at the bottom, okay? I'm not going to shill you for stuff. Join the Discord, just message me on the Discord, and I will help you out. It's really not a big deal, and after you do it a couple times, it's really easy. The first time I did it took a long time, and then now I'm just like pushing builds like crazy. I also want, I think I'm going to put this part back in the beginning of the video, but I want to let everybody know here that this is the most basic way to get the game onto Steam is through the GUI. It's not the most efficient way, okay, and it doesn't scale well, okay. If you wanted to do it the best way, you would use the command line, okay, and you would automatically push to different branches when you build the game. So you would have like a build script, then after the build is complete, it would call, another script that would push this game to like some branch or something like that. That way it's all lined up. But for indie game developers like myself, okay, you can use the GUI. Like if you're only pushing, let's say you need to push a build to Steam like 5 times a day, just use the GUI. Okay, you're like testing this, testing that, blah, blah, blah. Just use the GUI. It's totally fine. Everything will work just fine. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Please, if you have a chance, please, if you liked the video and you found it helpful, just do the thing. I'm not even going to say what it is, but do the thing. Okay. And if you want to do an early playtest of my game or check out my game or talk to me about game development, join my Discord. Let's talk. I'd love to share my game with you guys. And yeah, so I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, it's Robin, and I'm the creator of Die Robot. I just uploaded my game onto Steam, and I took a bunch of notes on how to do it simply and easily. So today's video, we're gonna Hey guys, it's Robin. Hey guys, it's Rob. No. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey. Hey. What am I saying? I should probably not have this fucking thing. Okay. Hey guys, I'm Robin, and I just uploaded